Hi, and welcome to this Amplify webinar. We're going to be showing you a little bit about Amplify, and a special welcome to Jackie Dinkel, who's the marketing manager for Mountain West, who's going to talk a little bit about Mountain West and what they're doing with Amplify. As usual, we'll try and keep the webinar relatively short, hopefully around about 35-40 minutes, depending on the questions we have. And of course, as usual, you can type your questions into the question box in your GoToWebinar widget, and we'll address those at the end of the session. So for those of you that not sure what Amplify is, I'm just going to run through a few bullets just so that you get a slight overview. So Amplify eCommerce is the latest generation omni-channel commerce technology, and it's built around the EasyAsk natural language search engine. It allows you to produce mobile-friendly websites. So your users can access your storefront from any device. We give you lots of tools to make the transition from storefront really easy. Import definitions and import jobs, which we've predefined to match storefront catalog structures. And it's a fully featured platform that not only supports B2B, but should you wish to address the B2C market or guest users, you can, or even have a combination of both. And there are many features that mean you can give your users a really advanced user experience, the sort of experience that they're used to seeing on the B2C sites that they use in their personal lives. The whole system is managed through a really easy to use web-based management console, and that includes a PIM, a product information management system, and a content management system as well. So you can even manage your pages, your raw content, your menus, as well as everything to do with the catalog. And we have lots of merchandising functionality through our links to the EasyAsk system and its merchandising console. That means that you can control merchandising through a really easy to use control panel, which means your business users can do it. And that will include things like being able to boost products up the order, set up promotions, and so on. So with that, I'd like to invite Jackie to join in, and we're just going to chat about a few aspects of what we've been doing on the Mountain West project. And firstly, Jackie, would you be able just to give us a bit of background into Mountain West, who they are and so on?
Yeah, absolutely. So Mountain West is a wholesale audio, video, security, and car products distributor in the Pacific Northwest and the Rocky Mountain region. Our customers are mostly small companies that do custom planning and installation work and things like home theater systems, security systems, car audio projects. We have a few customers who are larger integrators, and they mostly do bigger commercial projects like bigger home builders and MDF projects like apartment buildings and doctor's offices and things like that. So that's pretty much the crux of our business.
Okay, thank you. And the systems that you're using at the moment are what?
Is Storefront is what we are using, and Fax is our accounting software.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, thank you. And you've made the decision, obviously, to move Storefront. What were the key drivers there that made Mountain West kind of want to move off?
Well, the main reasons for us leaving Storefront was that we had just really hit our capacity with it, with what we could do in terms of expansion and innovation. We had really done, everything that we could with the platform, squeezed it for all it's worth. And it was just time. We were kind of limping along with our website. It just wasn't where we needed it to be. We needed better search features. We needed pages that were professionally built and looked professionally built. We needed, the most important thing we really needed was grouped SKUs. So we needed the ability to take one product that had multiple attributes and put it all together on one item, so that we just didn't have pages and pages of the same product that was essentially, you know, it was the same, it just had a different color or a different size. But we also needed in-depth customer and admin interfaces. We needed real analytics. We needed social integration. We needed it to be super simple to manage and maintain, like down the road, no matter who is sitting in this chair. We needed to be able to be taught easily. So those were our main reasons for moving off the storefront.
Okay, and yeah, you mentioned a few specific things there, which we can look at in a while. Just before we jump into looking at your site, and were there, apart from the product variants, were there other reasons that you chose Amplify as opposed to anything else?
Well, really, because Amplify could provide those changes. You know, like I said, we have a site now that it works, but it's not great. You know, it's very rough around the edges. It's old. And Amplify could really bring us in to an arena where we could compete with the other sites that are out there. Not that the other distributors have awesome sites, but there are lots of features out there in the market space that have options that we really wanted to take advantage of, and Amplify could do that.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. And you probably noticed I brought up your existing site. The storefront site is on the screen, and you know, to many of the people watching, this will look kind of familiar, a typical storefront interface, in this case showing a subcategory of products. And what I'm just going to do is contrast that with the Amplify version of in this case your homepage. And if I just refresh that, it's been sat there for some time, and we can see you've got something that you specifically requested, which is ability to have some nice marketing banners scrolling across the screen, and things like featured products, merchandising areas, and your featured manufacturers and so on. And I think one of the things when we were talking about this was that you said, you know, the ability for you to be able to manage it was crucial. And I noticed just the other day that some of these the text on the actual banners had changed, and I think you proudly announced that you'd actually gone into the Amplify backend and tweaked it to change that. And I just thought it'd be good just to show that, because it is a very simple thing to do. For the audience's benefit, everything that is generated in an Amplify site is driven by dynamic pages, which contain dynamic widgets, which are all parameterized. And so, for example, this big banner slider that is showing security products, home products, and so on is just another widget. And we can go in and modify that. And if I were to go into the back end of Amplify, and I can go to the CMS system, and then I'll go to pages, and as you can see, we have quite a few pages. But if I filter down to find the home page, and I'll just turn caps lock off, which shouldn't be on, and I edit this page, I can go in and see what the content of this page is in terms of the widgets, and that's showing down here. And as you can see, I've got these at the top, I've got these sliders, and they have parameters. So the title of the first item is the home audio video products. And this is what Jackie changed recently. And with your permission, Jackie, I'll just change it again very quickly and show how easy that is. So if I want to change this, and I will just change it for the words changed for webinar so that it's fairly obvious. And I save this this page again, and I go back and I simply refresh. And as you can see, now our homepage has changed. We've changed the messaging, obviously a nonsensical message, but that's how easy it is for Jackie to manage the content on the page. And perhaps if we get time, we can look at doing some other things as well. You also mentioned search, and of course, as part of the product, we have embedded into it the Easy Ask natural language search, and that includes the searches you type. So if I start to type Samsung, we're immediately getting the search suggestions, and of course the top products related to those suggestions as well. Now, one of the things that we talked about in the past, Jackie, was the fact that your data as it appears in your fax system is somewhat limited in terms of things like descriptions and specifications and so on. And that's true for many of the people that are watching. The ERP system's got limited capabilities to store kind of rich product information. And most products typically have an image. If I just go back to this screen or this one, for example, this is a product that I looked at earlier. It's a TV, but the only information that we have available is the part code and a very brief description and an image. And so one of the things that Amplify has enabled us to do, particularly with Mountain West, is to enhance the product information by calling out to third-party content providers. And we do that automatically if we can find the product in their databases. And what that means is, if I just go back to the Mountain West site, and I'm just going to turn off caps lock again. If I search for that part number, and of course part number searching works in the searches you type as well, and in fact the part number that I'm interested in is this one, the 65 QNED 99. And if I do that search, this is the same product that came from fax that we were just looking at in your storefront site. But if I look at it in your Amplify site, what we see is very different. Firstly, the product name has been expanded to be the full specification. We've got a rich product description. We've got many images. All of these have been downloaded from a third-party content provider automatically, so we haven't had to set this up. It happens as part of the Amplify process. Down the bottom here, we've got the description, but we've also got complete specifications for the product. Lots of details which will be really important to installers and the technicians that have to work with these products. And additionally, in this case, there was also a manual that was available. And if I click there, I will see, in this case, the user manual. It's 135 pages. That has been downloaded and loaded into the Amplify cloud, and that can be done automatically for all products where we can find those products in that third-party system. And that is very powerful, because it means that Jackie doesn't need to enhance the product any further. Simply getting the part code correct is all that's needed for us to be able to reach out and drag that information down. in terms of the product variants that you mentioned were a big thing for you. One of the things we did was we set up a product so that we could demonstrate that here. And if I did a search for bulk Cat 6, this was just one of the products that Jackie mentioned that previously the bulk Cat 6 product would have occupied most of the screen in terms of search results because it comes in lots of different colors. And what Amplify has allowed us to do is to simply say, okay, there is a master product, and within that product, there are color variants. And if we click on the master product, now instead of seeing these detailed products in the search results and occupying valuable category page space, we simply see the list in here. And of course, we can log in to be able to order those, and the user can order all within the same page. So Jackie, the variant products, you know, we've only specified some of them at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of difference is that going to make, do you think, to the users? I mean, things like colors and sizes appear in almost every catalog, and in fact, we're working with another customer who sells screws, and we're taking 80 products and condensing them down to one. Do you have many situations like that in your data where this is going to?
Oh, absolutely. I think that it'll make the customer experience just that much better. It'll increase the amount of sales that happen on the website. It'll encourage people to purchase more, especially as we get related products integrated onto the screen here. We had talked about on the, the left or the right, wherever we decided, but it'll continue to allow customers ease when they're shopping so that they can very easily on that screen go, I need 4 boxes of black and, 2 boxes of white and just go down that list and hit submit once and it all goes to the cart. They don't need to go back and forth in screens. And then say they see something on the left that's, connectors or, the tool they need to strip the cable. They can click on it straight from there and have that add to their cart as well. From the experience that I've had on different sites that work this way, it increases sales, absolutely, because they don't have to think as hard. And that's really what it comes down to.
Great. And I'd forgotten to log in, which is why, of course, we weren't seeing the quantity boxes and the prices and so on. So I just, while you were talking, I logged in, and that kind of explains what you were just talking about. The user can choose to order as many of the different variants as they wish, all in one go, which makes the whole thing a lot easier for them, and hopefully a much better experience all round. One of the things that I know you were quite keen on having, and you specifically, about a month ago said it'd be nice to have a shop by brand button. And so what we did was we simply created a shop by brand widget, which is very, very easy from our point of view because of the way that Amplify is put together. And so now you have a shop by brand screen where the user can click into any particular letter associated with the name of the brand. They can do a search. So, for example, just searching for a brand that contains AMA will presumably find Amazon, but also finds a few other things which have got AMA in as well. So, because you have somewhere in the region of 200 brands, the shop by brand feature was quite a big thing, and it allows you to offer that to your users. And one of the other things that you mentioned, which would be very useful for your customers, is the quick order facility. And I'll just quickly demonstrate that as well. So what quick order is a facility that allows the user, rather than having to browse and find products, if they know the part codes, they can simply enter them in, enter a quantity, and add it to the order. Or even better, if they have a spreadsheet where they've loaded up the parts, and I know many customers keep spreadsheets of the things that they need to order every month or every 3 months. They can load it from files. So if I just load a file, I've got a sample file here with a few products in, and if I just open that and click on upload, that will automatically, based on product code and quantity, automatically fill in all the details, and that can be then submitted as an order or added to an existing order. And of course they can do that as a combination of uploading and then type in some more as well. So again, it's one of those things. It's all about giving your users a really good user experience. And of course, being able to manage the content is going to be a big thing for you. Are there any other areas that you think where the Amplify system is going to give you benefits for your end users, other than obviously the fact that it's an easy look and feel? Of course, we've got things like mega menus, which you've got control over as well. The ability to zoom in very easily on sets of products. And this site isn't live yet. It will be very shortly, and we're still adding some more functionality for you. But I think the content has been key, hasn't it? And getting some good imagery and stuff like that.
Yeah, just having a system that can grow even from here will be so beneficial going forward. The amount of content that we have now on our current site is so limited. Like I said, just going to this new site, I mean, you can just see scrolling through. It's nicer to look at. It's nice seeing the categories listed to the left, all the functionality within each thumbnail is so much better.
Great.
Yeah.
And I guess finally, I mean, what's the experience been like for you? Because we've been working together for, I think, 3 months since we kicked off, and hopefully it's been not too tedious for you.
Good. Yeah, it's been a very good experience. It's, I work on my bits here every day, and I'm absolutely confident that you guys are always, working on your end too. The experience has been very personal. It seems like there's it's been very good. I've really appreciated the partnership, because you can get anybody. You're never sure who you're going to get.
Yeah. That's good to hear. Yeah, thanks for that, Jackie. And I think what we're going to do now is I've just switched back, and I think we're going to go to a Q&A. So let me just see. Yeah, we're going to have Q&A. So hopefully, Matt, have you had any questions for either myself or for Jackie or jointly?
Yeah. So first question is, are there any items that you can show that have a unit of measure, each versus case?
Not in the current display, because that is just another type of widget that isn't enabled in there at the moment. But of course, we do have that information, and that could just be put on the screen if we needed to. So yeah, the unit of measure is something that is coming back from facts along with the price and availability. We're just choosing not to display it on the screen at the moment.
When I think too that you could probably work that into the master SKU setup, where people would just see an each price and then a case price, and we have some of those situations in our company, but yeah, we haven't built that in yet.
Okay, thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Robin. Next question is, can price breaks be displayed to show customers when they buy more, they save more?
Yes, of course. And again, we get that information back from the ERP. Every time we display the product, we're actually getting, if the user is logged in, we're getting live price and availability, and part of that information is the price breaks. That's something that we can just display or not display. And I assume, Jackie, since it's not on the layout that you wanted, that you're not using price breaks, or is that something that we just need to put into the pull in?
That's something that would get pulled from facts. So as someone logs in specifically, they're seeing their pricing. But if they were to log in as another customer who maybe wasn't in some tier of pricing for TVs, let's just say, then they wouldn't see that pricing. But yeah, I mean, like price breaks, like if you buy 100 more of these widgets, you'll get, 10 cents off or something. That's something that we could implement, I would think, but just not something that we've done just yet.
Yeah. So from a Mountain West point of view, that is not there. From an Amplify point of view, it's there. And remember, every widget that we put on the screen is configurable. So we choose which information to show and hide. And so in the case of the Mountain West configuration, we're obviously not showing that because it's not relevant for Mountain West. I hope that answers the question. But we do have the information. We do get all of that back from the ERP. So there's quite a lot of information we get back from the ERP that isn't shown by default on the screen on the Mountain West configuration, simply because that's how it was designed to look.
Okay, next question. This is in regards to variant products. So with the master item used to group products, does that really come down to what items you include in the master? For example, various sizes of styrofoam cups.
Yeah, so the way, I mean, there's various ways that these can be configured, but generally, and if we look at the Mountain West data as an example, the products which are, if you like, the variants already exist in the storefront catalog. There is just no kind of master product above them. And so in those situations, it was easier for us to say, simply make a copy of one of them, call it the master. We invented a code, a product code for it, just to make sure it's unique within the Amplify system. But in terms of the ordering, of course, the master product can never be ordered. You can only order a variant product. And so we actually simply created the master product. And then within a master product, you can simply say, firstly, that it is a master product. In other words, it has child products. And then secondly, you define what the attributes are that make those child products different. So in the case of the cable that we were looking at, that was color. In the case of screws that I'm working on for another customer, that is the screw gauge and the screw length, and so on. So you simply choose the attributes, and then those are used to differentiate the variants. And you simply select the variants using search, or you can manually select them by product ID that you want to be part of that group. Usually it's a case of searching, because typically those products that are all variants have got very, very similar, either similar product codes that all with just a different suffix, or they've got very similar product names. So searching for them is usually the best way to do it. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you, Robin. Next up is, how easy is it to set up the search for Amplify?
So Amplify uses Easy Ask Search, and it's set up by default. There is nothing that the customer has to do. The Easy Ask Search system is configured to automatically read all the data from the Amplify system. There are certain things in Amplify which tell Easy Ask how to read it. In other words, certain things like certain attributes can be marked as being filters or not to be filters. They can be marked as being searchable or not to be searchable. And the Easy Ask system will pick up on that information and automatically index everything, including all of the part numbers, the manufacturer part numbers, which of course can be different, and any other codes that you care to add to the index. That is all configurable, but there is a default configuration, which means that everything such as the product name, the category name, the description, any specification information automatically becomes searchable. And over time, the search as you type system, because Easy Ask is login all of the interactions that happen, the search as you type system learns what are the most popular searches and pushes those to the top when it comes to making suggestions. So it's essentially the same as search with Storefront. It's automatic, it just happens. You've got fine control over the configuration of it if you need it, but typically a standard configuration would be optimal anyway.
All right, thank you, Robin. Next question is, how hard has it been to get your storefront system into Amplify?
Do you want to take that one, Jackie?
Sure. It really hasn't been that hard. Honestly, we were able to just pull data over from Fax and Storefront. I believe you had worked with that too. And just, I mean, really just upload it, if you will, to the new system. I honestly haven't had to do much of that. I've had to clean a little bit of data, make sure everyone's names were in there and things like that. But in the big scheme of helping build a website, my push hasn't been that bad. I mean, they've really done quite a lot of the work, and it's been pretty easy from my end.
Yeah, I mean, actually, the process that we followed is that we simply dumped out the storefront catalog, and we have some import definitions which are we've already created, so that Amplify knows what storefront data looks like, and those import definitions then are simply run against, for example, products, attributes, categories, and so on, and the data then appears. The only thing that's taken slightly more time is just clarifying which products were needed, because there was an element of certain obsolete data which existed in the storefront system, which Jackie was very keen not to have in the Amplify system. And that was true for customer data as well. So Jackie has put some effort into clarifying, which of the customers are actually real customers that aren't obsolete, and the same with products. And so the great thing is with the Amplify import is that we're able to just delete the contents of the catalog and re-import it when we've got a different set of specifications for what makes a valid product. So we went through probably 2 or 3 iterations. The first product load we did, for example, was 13,500 products. And since Jackie's looked at the data and said actually some of these are obsolete, I think we're down to about 10,500 now. And it was easier, rather than deleting, you know, those 3,000 products that were obsolete, it was easier just to change the qualification criteria and then just re-import them, which is what we did. And it's very, very quick as well. It's literally it's a matter of minutes to do that on that many products. So that was the process. I hope that makes sense to anybody listening. It's all about having import definitions, which are, if you like, storefront ready. Excuse me.
And I didn't have to worry about those products reappearing overnight either. Like that we would say that this was obsolete and don't push it out, and then have it reappear, you know, in some update that, you know, happens. So that weighed on me a little bit, and then I got that clarified, and now I know that's not going to happen. So that was really good.
Yeah, so in the Mountain West situation, we've defined that Amplify is effectively going to be the master for the product catalog, and when products are added to Facts, we have a call where we can see anything that's new in Facts, and we can bring that across, and then Jackie can have a look at those products and fill out information that may not be there or will not be there actually in most cases. The extra information that Amplify allows the Mountain West to maintain about the products, obviously some of the core information will be their product code and a brief name, but that information is fairly sparse, and Jackie is very keen to make sure the products look good when they're on the web. And so that's where the PIM comes in, where Jackie can load up more images, videos, manuals, anything, or even reach out to third-party catalogs to automatically update it, like we've done with all the television products, for example.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Jackie. Next question. Jackie mentioned she is pleased with all the new images and product content. Is Amplify not only a PIM merchandising service, but also a product content service provider?
It could be used as a product content service provider, but it's there primarily to serve the to act as a PIM for the e-commerce system. And we do have links out to third-party providers so that we can, if you like, merge information in that is available on a third-party system and create it into the Amplify master. I have been asked by more than one customer, you know, could we take this and use this just as a PIM? And the answer is, of course, yes. But you know, you'll be wasting an awful lot of functionality to use Amplify just as a PIM, because it will generate mobile-friendly sites for you that have got all the bells and whistles that you need to keep your customers happy. And it also acts as an interface to your ERP system. So within the interface, that your end users will be able to go in, not only see orders that they've placed through the web, but they'll be able to see all the orders that have come in, hence omni-channel commerce, whether those orders have been put in by a sales guy in the back office through Fax or SXE, or whether they've come in through Amplify. The user can go in and see those orders, they can make payments, they can look at invoices and so on. So it's a complete interface to your ERP system, which can be used not only by your customers, but of course your sales guys. If they want to see what their customers are doing, they'll be able to do that.
Awesome. Next question. Does Amplify allow for proprietary items to be restricted as to who can view and order the items? For example, items printed with a customer logo.
Yes. Yes, we don't have any examples of that in the Mountain West implementation, but as many of you will know, with the Easy Ask system, we already do that with many customers. We're using exactly the same technique within Amplify to have product restrictions, and those product restrictions Could be that a product is for a single customer only, as in the case of things like branded cups, and we actually have a customer who does exactly that. And funnily enough, it is branded cups. But we also have customers where certain customers can only access subsets of the catalog. Certain categories or groups of categories are off limits, if you like, to certain groups of customers. So yes, the system can handle that. In the case of Mountain West, it's open. The whole catalog is open to everyone. So I can't demonstrate that on the Mountain West system. But happy to talk about it, obviously, with individuals, and we can talk about how we do that.
Thank you, Robin. And last question, unless some other ones decide to jump in, and you're welcome to, please. How easy is it to add new elements to your homepage?
Yeah, very, very easy. In fact, it's probably easier for me to demonstrate than talk about it. So, for example, and this was something we've done a few times with Mountain West, we've looked at this and we thought it'd be nice to have something. Every page is made up of a number of widgets, and in this case, you know, there's a slider widget here. There's this is called a merchandising zone widget. In this case, it's showing featured products, and these featured products, by the way, are defined using a natural language rule. So Jackie can easily go in to the Easy Ask Studio and simply change the definition of what these products are. There's no IT involvement whatsoever. But in terms of adding a new element, let's just say, for example, that I want to add another merchandising zone above featured products. I can do that. If I go in, and it is the home page, I'm just going to edit the home page. And if I just scroll down a bit, you'll see here's a widget, which is the featured products widget. And I'm going to put a widget in just above it. And so I'll just do a search to merchandising widget. And it's this medium-sized one. We have lots of different widgets, but this one is the one I'm just going to put in. And when I select a widget, I'm simply asked to provide the parameters for that widget. In this case, it's a title. And so I'm just going to call it new arrivals, because I do have a merchandising rule set up that determines what new arrivals are. And so if I select that zone, which is new arrivals, I can then choose other parameters, such as the maximum number of products that I want to put in. Do I want to show a cart button, and so on. But if I generate that widget now, I can just copy that and I'll put it in just above the featured products and simply save the page. So what I've done is I've taken a widget, and we have hundreds of widgets. In this case, it's just a merchandising zone, and I've updated the page. And now if I refresh that home page, I've now got a new arrivals area as well as featured products. And of course, I can lay out this page however I wish. This one's in a fairly simple layout based on rows of information at the moment, but I could change that. Hopefully, you know, that shows how easy it is for changes to be made to the site without any IT involvement, and that's the key thing here.
All right, Robin, Jackie, that is it for the questions.
Fantastic. So let me just switch back here, because we do have some contact information, and obviously we've only scratched the surface of Amplify and what Mountain West are doing with Amplify today. But if anybody would like more information, our contact details on the screen. We'd love to chat with you. We can set up a demo. We can even set up a proof of concept where we can show you what your data looks like within an Amplify system, because it's very, very easy for us to do that. And we'd love to do that. So please get in touch. Matt.
Thank you, Robin, and thank you, Jackie, very much for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And to everyone who attended the webinar, we appreciate your time, and we appreciate you with all the questions as well. Those were fantastic. We hope this gets you excited for the future. We'd love to discuss this new B2B platform with you directly, as there was a lot more to Amplify, like Robin said, than what you just saw on this short webinar. So please don't hesitate to reach out. Robin has our contact information on the screen. You can reach out to myself, Matt Basson, at mattb@easyas.com. Like I said, we are happy to schedule a call directly with you guys to go over all of your needs and how we can help you accomplish them. That is it for the webinar. Thank you again, and you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thank you.
Jackie.